let me go across to Aadil Singh Boparai first, because the Congress put out a long charge sheet against the government, except that your principal charge is that we are paying 4 times the going rate of these Predator drones. Now, you know something which nobody else does, because we don't know yet the price at which these drones are being sold to India. Weapon purchases are complex. What component is for the weapon, what component is for maintenance, for servicing, etc. isn't known. None of this is known. You've seen some media reports. There's no official declaration of what price we are buying the Predator drones for. So how do you know there's a scam? Aadil Singh Boparai, let's start from there.
Well, Mr. Kanwal, first and foremost, the entire drone deal is shrouded in opacity. Number one. Number two, paragraph 16 of the Indo-US joint statement categorically records an in-principle intent on behalf of the government.
But there's no mention of price. So you're saying we are paying 4 times. Yes, go on.
Hear me out. You'll have to give me uninterrupted 60 seconds. There is an in-principle intent on behalf of the government of India to purchase drones from General Atomics. Now, there are 2 things which have come out in public domain, and more particularly from your colleague, Mr. Manjeet Negi. I have a copy, and I'm sure the India Today must have done its due diligence before putting this out. Though he says that the deal worth $4 billion has been cleared, but for the purposes of our discussion, let's keep the threshold at $3 billion. Now, please compare this with what other countries have purchased. It's a very, very simple issue which the government of India cannot brush under the carpet.
But it's not that simple. No, one second. Aadil Singh Boparai, that's not how weapons are purchased, sir. It's not as if you can divide 3 billion by 31 drones and calculate the cost of each drone. It depends on what's the kind of weapon systems, and I'm sure Abhijit Iyer Mitra and the others will talk about this. It depends on what you buy. You can buy a plain car, you can buy a car with bells and whistles, you can have high-end bells and whistles. All that determines the price. Is not 3 billion divided by 31.
Mr. Kanwal, that is why my opening statement was, this is the caveat which I put out, and this is exactly what Mr. Pawan Khaira has said. The entire deal is shrouded in opacity. Mr. Modi is not spending $3 billion or 25,000 crore rupees from his personal pocket, Mr. Kanwal. It is your, mine, and 1.4 billion Indians taxpayers' money. We demand accountability.
But when the deal is announced and clarified, we will know what all came with it. I am, because you are sensing a scam, and I'm trying to understand what that scam is, because you don't know what we are buying for that $3 billion.
If this pen is purchased by UK, Taiwan, Italy and Netherlands for 1 rupee, and India is purchasing it for 4 rupees, then most certainly I think there is a case which is made for clarification, for transparency on behalf of the government of India. Now please bear with me for 30 seconds. Number one, the Defence Acquisition Council clears a purported deal for $3 billion. The Prime Minister records an in-principle intent. It is happening at the level of the President of the United States and the Indian Premier. Certainly it is not in thin air. Number 3, now please have the data. US government purchases it for $56 million. UK for $12.5 million. Spain for 46. Germany buys it for 17 million. Have we committed a crime if we ask for transparency of taxpayers' money? In my opinion, most certainly not. Number 4, any defense deal or any defense purchase under the rules of business has to be approved by the CCS. This is the nodal body. There has been no mention of the CCS. Number 5.
No, but the CCS approval comes at a later stage, sir. The CCS approval will happen. Before this deal is announced, there will be a CCS approval. It just happens at a later stage in the whole weapon purchase process. That's the way weapons are purchased.
Let the government of India come out and say that we had recorded this in the statement without going through the CCS process. And why do you circumvent the tender? I again repeat, this is not money coming out of BJP's Deen Dayal office. This is public money. Why don't you have a tender system? When the transfer of technology is a meager 7%, when you've infused 1,700 crore rupees into DRDO for Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat, which has been reduced to a cipher, why not have a tender system? Is it a crime if the opposition asks for transparency, Mr. Kanwal? This, I again repeat, this is taxpayers' money. The government, as usual, is pushing it under the carpet. These are public reports. If either it's Mr. Manjeet Negi who is misleading the country, or the government of India should come out. Whether it's 3 billion, whether it's 4 billion, whether it's 31 drones, whether there is a CCS approval, why has government shelved off a tender process?